Okay, welcome back, YouTube. Thanks so much for joining today. Before we start, let's just ask for blessings. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the great ones, holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers, to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, to my spiritual teacher, Master Chokok Sui, Lord Mahaguru Jume Lang, to our sacred teams, Mother Earth, all the plant medicines, to our higher souls, our divine selves, we humbly ask for your divine blessings, love, kindness, compassion, for divine illumination, divine oneness, abundance of prosperity, inner healing and physical healing, for the inner strength to continue with our spiritual practices, for divine assistance, divine soothing healing energies, divine guidance, divine protection. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and in full faith, so it is. Okay, so with it being the end of the year, end of 2024, I think it's appropriate to talk a little bit about goals and about what we would like to leave behind from last year and what we would like to bring in for the new year. And this is something that I always do. I've gotten in the habit of doing this every year for the last, I don't know what that would be, 8 years, since about 2016. And it's really this practice of reflecting on how your year went, asking yourself what really went well, what really did I do, what happened that really went well for me, what were some of the good things that I enjoyed this year, and really looking at these different categories. So we'll kind of split it up into different sections, and for each of these sections, I just want you to think about, and maybe ideally you want to write these down. So if you have paper, you can kind of write along with this. If you're watching the video, you can kind of pause, write down your answers, and then continue. But for each of these categories, I want you just to think about what went really well, what am I grateful for, and what can I learn from in a certain category. So what went really well? What am I grateful for? What can I learn from in this certain section of my life? So starting at health and fitness, what do you think went really well for you? Maybe it was going to the gym regularly, or maybe you went and did a lot of outdoor activities during the summer, or maybe if you're in like a warmer place, you tend to go outside a lot and do a lot of outdoor activities. Maybe you went and played some sports. Maybe it was like pickleball or something like that. Just some way to kind of get yourself moving, get your body moving. Or maybe it was somewhere along the lines of diet. Maybe diet changes. Maybe you lost some weight. Maybe you really figured out a certain discipline that you can start following or have been following that has really worked well for you. Maybe you were really on top of diet on certain times of the year, maybe certain months went really well for you. And really just reflecting like what went well. Were there times where you ate really well and you felt really good in your body? Were there times where you were moving a lot or doing some type of exercise that felt really good? Really just reflecting on like how was the health and fitness for you? Or maybe it's even something like I was only sick for once or a couple times this year. Or if you were sick, how did the times where you weren't sick go? How was that for you? And really just thinking about like, what are the good things when it comes to this? What was positive about it? What went really well? And then asking yourself, what am I grateful for? Is it like for me is like, I'm grateful that I can move around. I'm grateful that I have a healthy body. I'm grateful that I can move. I can walk, run, lift weights. I'm grateful that I have the ability to be mobile when I need to be. I'm really grateful for this body and what it does for me and how I can move through this world. Just things that you can think about that you can be grateful for when it comes to health and fitness. And then the last question is, what can I learn from this? What can I learn about things that might not have gone the way I wanted to? Maybe you wanted to be consistent in the gym and maybe you weren't. So really thinking about like, what can I learn from this? Are there certain habits that I need to develop in order to get to the gym more, or to get outside more, or to do certain exercises? Or are there certain milestones that I want to reach? Maybe it's something like running a 5K or doing a marathon, or really aiming towards doing something that can kind of get you to move your body more. Or maybe it's something along the lines of like losing more weight. Maybe you gained more weight than you wanted to. Maybe you have more fat on your body fat percentage went up throughout the year, or maybe it fluctuated. I think most people, it fluctuates throughout the year. There's moments where it's a little higher, moments where it's lower. Or maybe it got out of control and went really high. I mean, that can happen for some people. And really reflecting and understanding, like, what can I learn from this? What can I do about this? What do I have control over? We have control over everything that goes in our mouth. We have control over what we do for our exercise. If it's going to the gym, if it's just getting up and walking, doing some kind of movement, really thinking about like, what is it I can learn from this? What can I do better next time? And how can I start to incorporate these things into my life, starting now, ideally, but next year, since we're kind of reflecting on this. So really, we're going to go through these questions for each category. And then for personal development. So personal development, what are you grateful for? What do you think went really well? Maybe it was studying and reading certain books, maybe learning about a different topic that you're interested in, or maybe doing like self-help or maybe spiritual work, some type of thing to help you to improve your life, some kind of personal development, character development. Maybe you went out and you started doing more charity. Maybe you started tithing more. I know this is true for myself, as I started doing regular volunteer work and even doing tithing with the suggestion of my teacher, Master Ko. And I've found to be, like, just a side note, I found a lot of things have started going really well for me since I started doing that regularly. So if you're not doing that, definitely encourage you to think about that. But really just thinking about like what went well, what are you grateful for? What do you think went really well when it comes to personal development? Did you do a lot of learning? Did you take classes? Did you read some books? Did you do something that kind of expands your mind or makes your life better in some way? So just thinking about that. And then what are you grateful for when it comes to the personal development? What is it that you're grateful for? For me, just using myself as an example, I'm really grateful that I had the ability to take all these classes throughout the year. I'm grateful that I had access to all these different resources around pranic healing specifically, because I dove really deep on that this year, as I've been sharing with all of you throughout the last year and a half or so. I'm just very grateful to have that opportunity to have access to these teachings, because they've really transformed and changed my life in a really, really positive way. So I'm really grateful for that. And then the last question, what have you learned from this? What have you learned? Are there things in the personal development that have not gone as well as you might have wanted? And if so, what can you learn from this? How can you make things better next time? How can you do things differently so that maybe the outcome is a little different next time? Maybe you didn't do any studying, or maybe you didn't read anything, or maybe you didn't really do any type of learning specifically. So how can you start to incorporate this in your life and take action on these things? Maybe taking more classes or finding some way to learn. Even something like, I don't know, learning like martial arts or yoga or something along the lines of like learning, expanding, personal growth, that sort of thing, and just looking at that. And I think just based off time, I'm not going to repeat every single question for each category, but I want to at least make you aware of what each category is, at least the way that I've been taught to kind of separate things out. And really, again, like the questions you want to ask yourself in each of these things: what am I grateful for? What went really, really well? What do I really think went well in this thing? And what can I learn from this, and how can I make it better next time or next year? So career, what am I grateful for? What went really well? What can I learn from this? How can I make it better? Finances, what am I grateful for with the finances? What went really well? Did I save money? All these things. Did I tithe? Do all those things? And what could be better? What can I learn from this? How can I make my finances better? What can I do to start increasing my finances or learn more so that I can make that area of my life be more prosperous? Family life. What went well? What am I really grateful for when it comes to family? What have I learned? What can I learn from this? And what can I make better when it comes to family? Friends and relationships. What am I grateful for? Am I grateful for my friends, my partner, any other business relationships you might have, coworkers, whatever? What went really well when it comes to those relationships? Maybe you did certain things with people. And what can I learn? How can I make this better? Spiritual practices. What am I grateful for? For me, I'm very, very grateful to Master Chokak Sui, to my spiritual teacher, Master Ko, all my different spiritual teachers I've had, and any teachers I've had throughout the years, the last 12 years. What is that? Math in my head. 12, 14, 16 years. Wow, math is hard. Since 2008, I've had many, many teachers that have helped me along this path to get to where I'm at. And even before that, I had lots of teachers that were valuable in their own way. But yeah, like, what are you grateful for? What went really well? Or did you meditate regularly? Did you do all these certain things throughout the year that were really helpful when it comes to spiritual practice, when it comes to meditation or even healing? And just writing all that stuff out. And then what can I learn from this? What have I done maybe that didn't go so well that I can do, that I can learn from? Or maybe certain things went well and maybe I can just make it better. So what can I learn from this? How can I make this better next time? And then for fun and leisure, again, what am I grateful for when it comes to fun, leisure time? What went really well when it comes to that? And what can I learn from this? What can I make better? What other things did I maybe spend too much time doing fun and leisure? Did I not spend enough time doing fun and leisure? Maybe I spent too much time working and not enough time having fun. How can I balance this out in my life so that it's more enjoyable to move through and to propel myself into a better life? What can I do? What can I learn? How can I make this better? What else? So really going through all these questions, and I would really encourage even the people on this call to go back and watch this video and really sit down and write down the answers. Like, what can you think of for the answers to these questions? And most likely you might have trouble remembering everything. So, I mean, it's a whole year. That's a long time. There's a lot of things that can happen in a year. But really what I want to encourage you to do is sit down and write down everything and answer all those questions in all 8 of those categories. And just by going through that practice, you will understand what it is that needs to change moving forward. What do I think needs to be better starting in 2025? What kind of resources, who can I reach out to start to get help in each of these different things? And I'll share with you one of the real, I would say, most important hacks or tips for really improving your life in a really, I would say personally, what I think is the most efficient, most effective way to do this. And the way to do this is to first think about what it is you want. So taking something simple like health and fitness. Maybe what I want is I want to lose weight. Maybe I want to lose a certain amount of body fat. Maybe it's like I want to lose 15 pounds next year, something like that. So really taking a look, where am I at right now? Am I working out? Am I exercising regularly? How much am I exercising regularly? Is it twice a week, 3 times a week? Is it 5 to 6 times a week? Or am I not doing it at all? And then asking yourself, is where I'm at supporting me to get myself to this end goal? Is working out once a week going to reasonably get me to lose 15 pounds? And by when? Asking yourself, when do I want to have this done by? Do I want to lose weight? Or do I want to lose 15 pounds by February? Well, how many pounds a week would that be then? Is that reasonable? Is that doable? So 15 pounds divided by, what was that, 4? That's like almost 3 to 4 pounds a week. That, I think, personally, that's too much. I think you should aim for, this is what I've learned from other fitness professionals, bodybuilders, doctors, all these different people, is really you should aim for like 1 to 2 pounds a week is about the average for losing weight. If you go more than that, there's a tendency to lose muscle mass, and you don't necessarily want that. So the more gradual you can lose weight, the better it is, just as far as what I've learned in that. So maybe 15 pounds by February 1st isn't really reasonable if I think about 2 pounds a week, but 15 pounds by March might be reasonable. That would be 8 weeks, so 15 divided by 8, that's about 1 to 2 pounds a week. I think that's way more reasonable. So really thinking about, is this a reasonable goal? Can I make this happen? And then what do I need to do in order to get there? How do I need to live my life in order to achieve this goal? What kinds of habits do I need to have in place in order to reach where I want to go? So there's a book that I highly recommend, which I'm not exactly sure where it is in this moment. It's a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And he really talks about really how to make and create good habits, and also simultaneously how to release or let go of negative habits. So highly recommend checking that book out. But basically one of the things he states is, when it comes to creating a good habit, you want to, first of all, make it obvious. And then, I think I'm not going to remember this off the top of my head, but it's something along the lines of like, make it obvious, make it easy, make it doable, and even chain habits together. So like for me, for example, is like, I'm in the habit of, whenever I'm done with work, I just automatically go to the gym. It's like, oh, work's done, it's time for the gym. And how can I make that easier for myself? Can I set out my gym bag out on the kitchen table or something, or near the kitchen table? Or can I set it next to my work desk? Or if I'm driving to work, I'll bring all my gym clothes with me so I could just go straight to the gym and then do that after work. And really getting yourself in the habit of like, make it obvious and do the thing and just continue to build it and make it easy. So don't try to go from I'm working out 0 times a week to suddenly I want to do 6 times a week. Like, that's just a huge leap. What would be much easier is if, for example, you're not working out at all, try just going for a walk for 10 minutes or even 5 minutes if that feels like too much. Or even if that feels like too much, try just getting out the door. Can I go outside and stand outside for a minute and then come back in? And a lot of the times, like, just by doing these simple steps of like, I'm just going to step outside, or I'm just going to look at the sun, I'm going to look at the tree outside and maybe touch the tree. Or I'm going to touch the grass. I'm going to go outside and put my hand on the grass and see what that feels like. And then maybe going, this is something I've done, sharing this with someone earlier, is like, when I really didn't want to go to the gym, I've gone to the gym and said, I'm just going to look at the equipment and that's it. And then I'm going to leave. And there have been a couple of times where I went there and I looked at the equipment and I went, cool, and I left. And that's good. It's good because you want to pat yourself on the back. I got myself to the place. And as silly as that sounds, like, moving through that and getting to a place of like, okay, like, now I have the habit of just going and looking at the equipment. And most of the time, what will normally happen is you'll get there and you'll be like, well, I'm already here, so I might as well just do something. Maybe I'll just stand on the treadmill and walk for a minute. And then you might find as you start to walk, you're like, well, I might as well start to run. Or maybe I'll just lift some weights a little bit. And then just kind of starting to get in the habit of gradually getting yourself to go to the gym. And that can be good enough, and that can be really helpful in the beginning stages. And eventually, you'll want to have a plan and really figure out like what it is you're doing on a given day and then start to do that. But in the beginning, if you're not doing any of that stuff, really thinking about what is easy for me. What can I start to do now that will move myself towards this goal of 5 to 6 times a week or 4 to 5 times a week or whatever it is, so that I can really ultimately, so I can lose some fat or maybe build muscle or some combination of those. So all of these things, apply this to every category of your life, not just working out, not just eating well. How can I go from where I'm at, and what is the next easy step when it comes to personal development, when it comes to career or finances? With finances, it's like people sometimes have trouble saving money or sometimes have trouble investing. So one thing that might be helpful is setting up some kind of automated, and some companies do this, I think a lot of companies do this with direct deposit, where you can split up where your paycheck goes before it actually reaches your checking account or wherever it's going. So you can have like a certain percentage of that money going to your savings, certain percentage of that going to investment or to retirement or wherever it is, so that you know that whatever money is actually reaching your checking account has already been divided up into where it needs to go. And then you have your budgeted, like, free money basically, or your bill money, or however you're doing it. But really just automating that process, you don't have to think about it as much, and it makes it easier. Because there's a tendency, I think, for a lot of people with finances especially, to go, well, I have this amount of money in the bank, so that's what I can spend on whatever. When really it's like, you have to split it up into percentages. Maybe a certain percentage you're tithing, maybe a certain percentage you're saving. The way my teacher kind of suggests is 10% of your money should be tithing. It should be for God. And this will do a lot of really good things for you. It will give you good karma. It will help you to generate more income in certain ways. By giving, we receive. By giving money, we receive money in certain ways. It will come back to us in some way, whether that's through our career, whether that's through opportunities, whatever it might be. It will come back to us in some way because it's the law of karma. So 10% of your income, tithing, God. And then 20 to 30% should be saving and investments. Another like 10, 20%, and maybe this is more for you, is like for bills, that kind of stuff. And the rest can be kind of play money. And if you're in a spot, and I know this can be true for some people, if you're in a spot where it's like my whole paycheck goes to bills, then really taking a look at, and I know this can be difficult for some people, really taking a look at like, what am I spending my money on every week? What am I spending my money on every month? Am I eating out constantly? Well, while that may bring joy and ease to certain parts of our life, would it be cheaper to instead buy in bulk from a grocery store or like Costco or something, and then meal prep everything? Is it cheaper financially to do those things? What can I do to reduce the amount of spending I have in certain categories of my life so that I can split up my money and have more money for my bills, more money for savings, more money for tithing, that kind of thing. And then beyond that, thinking about like the more obvious, which is like, what can I do to make more money? Can I advance in my career? Can I acquire different skill sets that will help my chances of getting a job that will get me more money? Or are there certain things that I want to do in life that can help me to generate more income so that I can more easily split out and budget my money beyond just paying for bills? So these are just things to think about. I would encourage you to talk to people, get help, recommendations, all that kind of stuff. Use some kind of budgeting software. In the past, I've used something called Mint, but I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think QuickBooks would probably be a good one. Other than that, just like looking at your bank account and writing it out. Like, here's the amount of money that I'm making. Here's how much I'm spending in all these different categories, like food, bills, fun things, concerts, whatever it is. And I guarantee that just by looking at that, it will become more clear to you how to budget better and where you might be able to spend less. And another tip that I've heard, this is just the last thing on the finances, and I think we'll go into the sound energy healing part. This is something I've heard from Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V, who's really, I highly recommend checking out his videos. He's really good. One of the things he's suggested that I think is really good is that if you get a raise or if you get a job that makes you more money, he suggests that all that new income should just go right to savings. Because the mistake that a lot of people make is, oh, I'm making more money. That means I can spend more. That means my lifestyle can increase to a certain extent and start to spend more. And this isn't to say that you need to follow this rule to a hard extent, but if you're already surviving, if you're already in a decently comfortable spot, then why not just have that extra money go to savings, go to investment, go to tithing? And then if you, for example, lose your job in the future, or if you have emergency things happen, maybe your car breaks down, or you need new tires, or you have like a medical thing come up that costs a lot of money, you'll have this buffer of your savings to help offset whatever happens with that. So, all right, I think that's probably enough about finances and all those things, but I do think it's really important when it comes to any of these types of topics, especially when it comes to reflections on the end of the year and what we want to let go of and what we want to bring in for the next year. And the more that we spend time reflecting, adjusting, moving forward, figuring out what we want, and then moving towards that thing, the better our lives are going to become. So really the ideal, like we can do this kind of practice at the end of the year, but really the ideal is what I suggest is every single week, pick a day, pick a time, and you reflect. How did last week go? How did everything go? Did I work out regularly? Did that go well? Or were there things that maybe I could have done differently or maybe didn't go as well as I had hoped? And what can I learn from this? How can I make next week a little bit better? And as you continue to practice this, it'll become easier, kind of like training a muscle or a skill. You'll get better at it over time, and it'll become easier for you to just look at it and go, well, okay, this happened, so now I'm going to try this next time. Or now that went well, so I'm going to do more of this, and I'm going to keep trying to expand this. So really every single week, just reflecting, how did last week go? How's next week going to go? What do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish? All these different things. And then having periods like now at the end of the year where you really reflect on how the whole year went. How did 2024 go for you? What went well? What am I grateful for? What have I learned? What can I make better for 2025? What changes can I start to make things better for myself and even the people around me? Okay. Any questions? I know I've just chatted a whole bunch, but there's some people on the call. Any questions from anyone on the call? You can either speak up or you can write it in the chat if you have anything. Just curious if anyone has any comments or questions, or if you feel good about what I just shared. Okay, so let's get into the sound energy healing part. I want you to think about, let's just stick with one thing for now. And then if you want, you can come back and watch this video and pick another thing. But just pick one thing that you would like to let go of from 2024. Maybe it's an emotional thing. Maybe it's anger, sadness. Maybe you got upset about something. Or let's do this first. So let's do a really quick forgiveness exercise, because I know that was a request in the chat in the group. Let's do a very quick forgiveness exercise, and then we'll go into the sound energy healing. So just pause on the, set aside what you're going to release just for a second. And I want you just to think about, is there anybody from this last year, this could even be yourself, that you're angry with, that you're upset with, that has frustrated you in some way? And just rate out of 10 how angry, resentful, upset, frustrated, whatever it is, how much out of 10 are you at that towards this person? Maybe it's yourself, maybe it's somebody else. Just pick one person. 10 being like super angry, I could never forgive them, those kind of feelings. And 0 being, I don't feel anything towards this person, I just feel whatever. Very neutral. Where do you think you're at? And for those in the crawl, just write the number in the chat. Like, where do you think you're at for this person? Seven. Okay. A couple other numbers. Okay. Okay, good. So we'll just really quickly, this is a technique that I learned from my teacher, Master Ko, just to use energy to forgive and let go of these emotions. I would encourage you to look at my previous videos as to like diving deep on questions you need to ask yourself to really release this. But for now, we're just going to go through the exercise and move on. So what I want you to do, just kind of follow me. Put your hands over your heart like this. And then just closing your eyes, imagining the person that you're wanting to forgive is maybe 10, 20 feet away from you. And just verbally repeat after me. Namaste. The divinity in me salutes the divinity in you. Namaste. And now visualize them turning into brilliant light, because after all, we're forgiving the soul, not the body. And again, verbally say, Namaste. The divinity in me salutes the divinity in you. We are all children of God. We are all growing and evolving. Evolution involves time, process, and lots of mistakes. I've had my share of mistakes and learned from them. So can you. I wish you the same. May God's peace and love be with my soul, and may God's peace and love be with you. Namaste. So now be aware of the lower back. Breathing in through the nose, being aware of the lower back, bringing it up to the upper back, breathing in, up to the crown, breathing in, up to the light above your head, and breathing in and hold, and letting it go through the mouth. Verbally say, you are completely forgiven. Go in peace. I release you. And just leave your awareness on that light above, the light floating above your crown. Okay, we'll do that one more time. So awareness on the lower back, breathing in through the nose, bringing it up to the upper back, breathing in, up to the crown, breathing in, up to the light, and hold, and let it go through the mouth. Verbally say, you are completely forgiven. Go in peace. I release you. Just leave your awareness on the crown. Okay, we'll do that one last time. So awareness on the lower back, breathing in, up to the upper back, breathing in, up to the crown, breathing in, up to the light, and hold, and letting it go through the mouth. You are completely forgiven. Go in peace. I release you. And just open your hands in blessing. May you be blessed with inner peace, with inner healing. May you also learn from your mistakes and spiritually grow. You are completely forgiven. Go in peace. I release you. Namaste. And then open your eyes, look at me, and do this. Cut. Okay. Where's the number at now? Did it decrease? Did it change? Where is it out of 10? 4. Okay, that's good. That's improvement. Keep repeating this exercise until it becomes a 0. Ideally, we all have the ability to forgive and let go and to move on. Many people fall into this trap of saying things like, I'll never forgive them. How could they do this? I'll always be hateful or angry at them. And if you say stuff like that, it's true. You never will. And you know what? You're the one who put that on yourself. So that might upset some of you, but it is what it is. When you say stuff like, I'll never be this way, I'm always this way, blah, 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 I'm always this, I'm always that, I never do this, I never do that, you are solidifying the belief that you will never be able to do it. And that thought form is energized and will completely take over that and make sure that it will always or never be a certain way. So be open to change by changing first your language and your thoughts. And then from there, you can begin to realize through meditation, through these practices, that you can heal, you can change things in your life. Everything is subject to change. Beliefs can change. Everything has the ability to change. So that's what I leave with you. And let's move on to the sound energy healing. So again, what I said earlier, bring up something that you would like to let go of. This could be an emotional thing. This could be a thought. This could be a pattern or a belief that you have. Like an addiction maybe. Whatever it is, or maybe even a disease. If you feel physically sick, maybe you're ill in some way. Thinking about what healthy feels like and letting go of like whatever the energies are that are causing you to feel this way. And this is a really obvious question because of this, where we're at, the context of where we're at, but I'm still going to ask it. Do you want to heal from this? And if the answer isn't yes, well, it should be a yes. Otherwise, like, why are you here? But do you want to heal from this? Do you want to change this? The first step is, yes, I want to heal this. Yes, I want to change this. And then from there, we can do things like sound healing, energy healing, whatever, in order to move through this and to let these things go. Throughout the sound energy healing, I would say the most important thing for you to do, if you forget anything else that was said, is to relax, allow, and receive. The more that you relax, allow, and receive, the better all of this is going to work for you. So one thing I like to offer to everybody is, if something comes up, say it's anger, or maybe it's tension somewhere, or maybe it's certain thoughts that are just spinning around in your head. By just saying to yourself, I allow, and then whatever the thing is, for most people, it will give them the ability to relax and let go of whatever it is they are experiencing. If it's anger, I allow this anger. If it's tension, maybe your jaw is clenched or your fists are clenched, I allow my jaw to be clenched. I allow my fist to be clenched. If it's a chatty mind, I allow the chatty mind. I allow, I allow, I allow. And for most people, once they say I allow, and the thing, it gives them permission to feel that and experience it. And simultaneously, for most people, will allow them to relax. And through that relaxation, the negative energies will be released. The emotions, the thoughts, the tension, it will all be released through that relaxation, especially when you're combining it with this type of healing. Okay, so I think that's enough chatting for now. I would invite you to get comfortable, either seated or laying down, and we will start in just a moment. Okay, so just inviting you to close the eyes. We'll do a few slow, deep breaths together. Inviting you to breathe in through the nose, filling the belly. letting it go through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, expanding the belly like a balloon. And letting it go. And one last one, breathing in through the nose. And letting it go. Allowing the breath to return to normal with the eyes still closed. I want you to imagine, sense, feel, or see this violet light is washing over your entire body. And this violet light is entering into every part of your being, saturating the blood, the bones, all the organs. Every cell in your body is saturated in violet light. And just allowing, relaxing, and letting go. Be aware of that brilliant light. Be aware of the stillness in that light. Be aware of the gap between the thoughts, the gap between the emotions, the gap between the breaths. The stillness at the top of your breath and the stillness at the bottom of your breath. Be still. Be aware. Be aware of that brilliant light. Be still. Be aware. And let go. Be still. Be aware. And let go. Gently coming back to the body. Gently coming back, keeping the eyes closed. I want you to be aware of your crown chakra. The divine light from God, all the higher beings, coming down, 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 and cleansing your crown chakra of all negative energies. Your crown chakra is deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies. The divine energy is cleansing your brain. Your brain is deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your right brain, left brain, front, back, middle brain are all deeply, thoroughly cleansed. So be it. Your forehead chakra at the top of your forehead is deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies. Your ajna chakra, the place between the eyebrows, is deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies. Negative thought forms, negative elementals are all deeply and thoroughly disintegrated, extracted, expelled, properly disposed of. Now, so be it. The divine energy is going down, down, down and cleansing your throat chakra. Your throat chakra, jaw chakra, secondary throat chakras are all deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies. Your throat chakra is cleansed of all negative self-talk, anxieties, worries, negative emotions, negative thought forms, all deeply and thoroughly cleansed, extracted, expelled, properly disposed of now. Your front heart chakra is deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your back heart chakra is deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies. All energies of grief, betrayal are disintegrated, extracted, expelled, properly disposed of now. Your back heart chakra, your lungs are now deeply, thoroughly cleansed. Now your heart is being cleansed. So be it. The divine energy is cleansing your shoulders, your arms, forearms, hands, and fingers. The divine energy is cleansing your front solar plexus chakra, the place between the ribs. Your front solar plexus is deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies, all stress energies, negative elementals, thought forms, negative emotions are all deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your stomach is cleansed, your liver is being cleansed, your spleen is being cleansed. Your front solar plexus is deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your back solar plexus is deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your kidneys are cleansed, your back spleen is cleansed, your back liver is cleansed. Now, so be it. Your entire spine is being cleansed. Your Ming-Main is being cleansed. Disintegrate. Your navel chakra, the place where the belly button is located, is being deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies. Your navel chakra is deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your internal organs are all deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your colon is being cleansed. Your sex chakra, the divine energy is entering into your sex chakra. Your sex chakra is deeply and thoroughly cleansed of all negative energies. Your reproductive organs are deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your hips are being cleansed. Your perineum is being cleansed. Your basic chakra is purified and deeply and thoroughly cleansed. All poverty consciousness is now disintegrated, extracted, expelled, properly disposed of now. So be it. Your hips are being cleansed. Your legs are being cleansed. Knees go all the way down to the ankles, feet. Your soul chakras are being cleansed. So be it, so be it, so be it. All negative energy is disintegrated, extracted, expelled, properly disposed of now. So be it, so be it, so be it. Your entire body is deeply and thoroughly cleansed. Your aura is being cleansed of all negative energies. So be it, so be it, so be it. Now be aware of the crown. Your crown is filled with white light. It is cleansed, energized, and healthy. Your forehead chakra, filled with white light. It is cleansed, energized, and healthy. Your Ajna chakra is filled with white light. It is cleansed, energized, and healthy. Your throat chakras, jaw chakra, secondary throat chakra, are all filled with white light. They're all cleansed, energized, and healthy. Your back heart chakra is filled with white light. Back heart going into the front heart. Your back heart chakra is cleansed, energized, and healthy. Your front solar plexus chakra is filled with white light. It is cleansed, energized, and healthy. Your back solar plexus is filled with white light. It is cleansed, energized, and healthy. Your navel chakra is filled with white light. It is cleansed, energized, and healthy. Your sex chakra is filled with white light. It is cleansed, energized, and healthy. Your basic chakra is filled with white light. It is cleansed, energized, and healthy. Your soul chakras at the bottom of your feet are filled with white light. They are cleansed, energized, and healthy. Your entire body is surrounded with white light. Just inviting you to gently breathe in, absorbing all that white light into every part of your being. Gently breathing out any dirty, used up energy. Gently breathing in white light into every part of your being, holding. Gently breathing out, letting go of all the negative energy, all that grayish energy. Gently breathing in more white light into every part of your being, holding. Gently breathing out, holding. Gently breathing in all that white light, holding. Gently breathing out, holding. Gently breathing in more white light, holding. Gently breathing out, holding. We're letting your breath return to normal. Gently coming back. And slowly and gently opening the eyes and returning back to a seated position. Oh, okay. So let's just stand up, so I don't want you to leave you with energy congestion. So just do a little bit of movement. All right. So I just want you to massage your face. Just massage the face. Tapping the top of the head, going back. Top of the head, going back. Going down, tapping the chest, the stomach area, the right side liver, left side spleen area. Tapping the whole abdomen area. Tapping one of the arms, going down. Coming back up. Tapping the other arm. Going back up. Tapping the mid back. Going down the low back. Going down one of the legs. Going down the other leg. And just shaking the whole body. Just shake, shake, shake. Shake the whole body. Okay. All right. So just a quick couple announcements. Obviously, we're at the end of the year, and I hope everyone has a happy new year. Again, if you want to join these live, every second and fourth Saturdays of the month from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time is when I'll be hosting these. There's a link down below in the description. It's on my link tree. People who come here live can ask questions, get their feedback on whatever. They can ask whatever they're curious about. And usually I'll kind of tailor the things that we talk about, the topics that I share based off what people want in the beginning. So if that interests you, I'd encourage you to join. Other than that, if you're ever in Minnesota and Minneapolis, I do in-person events, cacao, sound, and pranic healing, where I go quite a bit deeper than what I do in these online sessions or even on the YouTube videos. So I'd encourage you to join those, sign up, come join. Other than that, I offer personalized healings. So one-on-one healings where, oh, glad you feel clear. That's awesome. But yeah, one-on-one healings where we'll dive in on what's going on with you. Maybe you're sick with something. Maybe you have a respiratory illness. Anything from something simple to all the way to helping people with cancer or really serious illnesses like that. There's many different protocols in pranic healing that have been developed and researched and tested in order to help people move through these diseases or problems with their life, whether it be physical, emotional, or mental, or even spiritual. These are things that we could help you with when it comes to pranic healing, sound healing. For example, respiratory illnesses, we know that in general, the solar plexus chakra, the heart, the lungs, the throat, ajna, a little bit the crown, and kind of the upper chakras are all usually congested with dirty or diseased energy. So by knowing that, we can use, me as the practitioner, we can use energy to clean those systems out, release and remove all the negative energy, all the blockages, put fresh prana or fresh energy in, and this allows the body to heal at a much faster rate and to move through whatever it is that you might be experiencing. In that case, a respiratory illness, it allows the body to enhance its natural healing abilities. So if that's something you're interested or want help with something in any way, please reach out to me. Other than that, I really encourage all of you to join the Discord community chat that I have down below. For those in the Zoom call, I'll place the link here in just a moment. But I really encourage you to join the Discord community chat. We are building a chat and a community of all the people that are interested in this type of thing, and really a way to connect and be with each other. So please join that. Click the link below for Discord. And the last thing is that the next Cacao and Connection will be January 25. So that's in person. And that's just a way for us to socialize with each other, to come in together as community and to really connect and support each other in ways that are more social, more friendship oriented, more connection, more relationship building, that kind of thing. So really it's an event dedicated towards that. And I would love to see all of you there. So I think that's it. We'll just say a closing prayer, and then I'll stick around on the call for anyone who has any last minute things they want to say or ask about. Just inviting you to put your hands over your heart. To the divine supreme God, divine Father, Mother, to all the great, great ones, holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. To all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, our sacred team, Mother Earth, all the plant medicines, our higher soul, divine selves. To my spiritual teacher, Master Chokkok Sui, Lord Mahaguru Jime Ling, Thank you all. We thank you all for your priceless blessings. Thank you for all that you do. We're so, so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lord God, please assign a healing angel to everybody here to continue the healing until it is complete. With thanks and in full faith, so be it, and so it is. Thank you. Okay, I'll see you next time. Goodbye, YouTube.